Hello and welcome to the video. I'm William, the deity of despair, and today we don't have a question. Today I'm going to be doing something brand new. I'm going to do my first ever review on my second ever full Dynamite episode, AEW Dynamite episode. Uh, Brief summary of my time as a wrestling fan, because I am a wrestling fan. I grew up watching ECW. I was a very, very young child who should not have been watching ECW, but I was for some reason. And then when ECW, went down, I didn't interact with wrestling again until 2005, where I just randomly started watching WWE Raw, and I've been off and on of WWE for so since then. I was off and on with TNA for a while. You know, Mid 2000s TNA, amazing. And then Hulk Hogan came, and it was trash. And then I didn't interact with it much more after that. I watched Ring of Honor here and there. I watched, various lucha libre promotions throughout time. Never actually watched that much Japanese promotions though, shockingly. But what can you do? And then I completely stopped watching wrestling for good in like 2019, where I just didn't watch anything for a few years. I came back into wrestling when during WrestleMania number, where Cody lost to Roman Reigns. Right, that was like my first wrestling part in a very long time. And then I was watching WWE kind of consistently, mostly NXT, because I think NXT is just outright better than the main roster WWE. Um, and then I have not interacted with AEW that much. So this title of the video says AEW Noob Reviews Dynamite, and I am an AEW noob. This is only the second ever full Dynamite episode I've seen, with last week's episode being my first. But I have watched, a few clips and matches here and there. I've watched a few segments. I've watched like every Samoa Joe segment. I've watched every Swerve Strickland segment because they're my two favorites. Samoa Joe's my favorite of all time. He's just the GOAT. But, WWE sucks. Not just the product. Like, the product sucks right now as well. But as a company, just awful. Just awful. TKO is awful. Just awful. And I really don't want to, showcase them or, give them any views or anything. So I'm thinking, well, you know what? I do like AEW. Like, for the most part, I like what I've seen from it. So it's like, why not just, actively watch it? There's no reason for me not to. The only reason I didn't do it before was just because, I have a limited time to watch things. So I was like, well, we'll just watch most NXT. But now that I'm just dropping all of that, yeah, let's spend some time on Dynamite. So I'm gonna try to start doing weekly reviews of Dynamite episodes every week. I don't plan on doing Collision, at least right now, and maybe pay-per-views if I feel up for it. Also, if my work schedule allows for it, because I have a shitty job. And then that's the plan. And then for those reviews, I'm going to try to do a structure where I go through segments as they happen in the show in order. I'm not gonna break down every match, every move in every match. I'm not gonna recap what every person says in every promo or interview or anything. Just general stuff, general vibes, and then give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't want to do numbers for reviews. So with all of that out of the way, let's just jump into this review, which actually started with a recap of last week's main angle where Hangman jumped Samoa Joe dressed as Tony Schiavone. That angle was okay. It was silly. It was very silly, and I'm still undecided on how I feel about it. But the actual opening segment was Tony Schiavone in the ring. He was going to announce something with the new title. We'll get to that later. But then the Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata come down, circle the ring like the Shield used to do. And they were going to beat the shit out of Tony. Like, let's not get twisted. Samoa Joe is the greatest of all time. He was going to beat the shit out of Tony. Absolutely. But this segment did give probably the greatest crowd chant I've ever witnessed, ever heard, where they co-opted Hangman's cowboy shit into Tony shit. It was peak. It was peak. There cannot be a better chant than that. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. But yeah, so we're gonna jump Tony. Hangman comes out, Hook comes out, Eddie Kingston comes out. There was a 6-man announced for this show. Hangman has a little bit of a promo. Hook got Samoa Joe to put the trios titles on the line with what was a really great line where like Hook was like, "Yeah, you added Hums and you won those titles without me," and I'm pretty sure it was Powerhouse Hobbs who just said, "We sure did," which again, peak. So far, very peak episode. But yeah, I don't. I mean, it was a fine segment. It accomplished what it needed to. I don't know why Samoa Joe was so angry at what Hook said because like Hook didn't actually say anything at all. Like really, he was just like, "Yeah, you won those titles without me," and then Samoa Joe was pissed, so he put the titles on the line. Sure, why not? I also don't really understand Hook as a character. It didn't really expand anymore in this episode, but like everything I've seen before, I don't get Hook. So hopefully he grows on me, or he eventually changes character or something. And then the trios titles, I don't know a ton about the trios titles. I know trios titles in general have a history within wrestling. From what I've seen online, is that like I feel like it doesn't really fit within AEW. Like there isn't a lot of consistency with them, but from what I've seen in my 2 episodes, it's fine. I'd love, Samoa Joe. I really enjoy Powerhouse Hobbs. I really enjoy Shibata. So like I'm fine with them being champs. After that, we got our first match of the night: Orange Cassidy versus Claudio Castagnoli. It was like the first of 3 matches for the Blood and Guts advantage. I haven't seen a Blood and Guts match. I don't really know that much about it. I think it's like similar to War Games. I think. But yeah, so like that's what the advantage thing was for. And I just gotta say, from what I've seen, never really felt the Death Riders like in general. From like the clips I've seen, but they have sick ass entrances. Like every single one of them, their entrance is sick. Claudio's as well. Plus, Claudio's like in ring is just amazing. Like the raw strength he has is phenomenal. There, one thing I want to point out though, and this was my first time experiencing it, and it happens later on in matches as well, is like they show Twitter comments throughout the show. Twitter people talking about segments of matches and whatever, and it's something that WWE used to do, and I just gotta say, don't fucking show Twitter on screen. Don't fucking promote Twitter. Like we don't need that shit. We just don't need that shit. But anyway, it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, Claudio is great. Orange Cassidy, I enjoy him from what I've seen online, from clips and stuff. He is enjoyable. He also had this like really amazing moment where he did a hurricanrana with his hands in his pockets, which is like a signature thing for him, and he landed on his feet, and that's fucking insane to me. Like the coordination you need to land on your feet while your hands are in your pocket and you're doing her hurricanrana is outrageous. There's some couple other good moments too, of like the time when Orange Cassidy was like gonna do a drop kick through like the ropes in the corner there, but Claudio caught him. Was gonna do like a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker or something, but then Orange Cassidy countered that into a DDT. It was really cool. There was a sick commentators called it Stun Dog Millionaire. I thought was pretty cool looking. It was a really good match. Claudio wins to first point for Death Riders in their advantage. Uh, I don't know why there's like, well, okay, I guess they announced 3 matches for this and for the women's one. The third one is in case it's necessary or something. But like my question is like, obviously we're going to get all 3 matches, right? But like, what if one of the teams just won both matches? Like, then what happens with that third match? Do we just cancel it? Just send everyone home? Like, kayfabe wise, fine, but it's like, anyway, after that, we got a couple segments with Don Callis. He collects wrestlers like their Pokemon, and I find it very humorous, genuinely funny. His first segment was something with Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher. I do not know the history there, but I know Kyle Fletcher is the TNT champion, and Mark Briscoe, who I have seen like through Ring of Honor, like when I was watching Ring of Honor, he was like him and his brother were a big fixture of it. And like Mark was like wanting a title shot. Don Callis was like, "Yo, sure, but you got to give me something for that." And he ended up saying like, "Yeah, if Mark Briscoe loses, he joins the Don Callis family," and like that's kind of funny, but I don't know how it's going to go, and like I enjoy that in wrestling. I enjoy not knowing how it's going to go because like Mark Briscoe could just win the title, have his what I believe is first singles title within AEW. The Ring of Honor ones don't count within AEW, and that would be really cool. Really, it'd be a big deal. But also they could just make him lose and have him join the family. You know, another like from what I know, like a couple of people weren't like thrilled when they joined the family. Like Mark Davis wasn't supposed to be. I think Josh Alexander, right? But like I feel like Mark Briscoe would like be truly unruly. It'd be funny. It'd be what John Cena joining the Nexus should have been. And then after that, Don Callis had a segment with the Young Bucks, and like he's like, "Yo, you know, you guys are treated like jobbers, right? Join us, join me, and we'll get you set right." And Okada was like, "Don't take too long," and I think it was a missed opportunity for him to not call them bitches. Like, come on, it's the catchphrase. You gotta have it. You gotta give it to us, right? But I actually don't think Young Bucks join the Don Callis family. The Young Bucks are in a really weird position because I know they were heels. They had that weird storyline where they were fighting Tony Khan for like, because they're the not CEOs. Fuck, I forgot what the title is called. Whatever. They're the founding fathers. But they were fighting, Tony Khan, sort of. It was a really weird time. But then like the Death Riders started like immediately after and took all of the spotlight, and like I know the Young Bucks like then ran away for a bit. Then they came back and was like sort of aligned with the Death Riders, and then they lost their power, and now they're broke bucks, and but now they're also like kind of aligned with Don Callis. Like it's kind of weird, but I actually don't think they're going to end up joining the family, especially with like a potential civil war happening there, right? And then after those segments, we got a match within the women's tag title tourney. AEW you know, adding their own women's tag team titles. I'm positive it's going to go better than the WWE version of it. And this match was the how many belts does she have now? 12? Something like that. Like I'm just like 12 belts. Monet, Mercedes 12 belts. Monet and the Ring of Honor Women's Forever Champion Athena, taking on Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. I thought it was I thought it was a good match. I think the second wave of beatdowns on Harley Cameron was kind of unnecessary because like it was just more of the same, but it didn't detract from anything or anything like that. I thought it was just it was unnecessary, but it was fine. And it was a good match. They can't like Monet is such a great heel. Like she was my favorite of the four horsewomen within WWE, and like she's just great, especially as a heel. I really like Athena. I'm glad she was able to find something like this within Ring of Honor / AEW because she like is so talented, and these two were actually my front winners to win this tournament from like the teams I saw in the brackets. Maybe just because they're two people I'm familiar with as opposed to others, but I was betting that they would go to the finals, but that they wouldn't win the finals, right? But they actually lost. Yeah, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale won. I mean, obviously when the heel team won last week, and like this, whoever wins this was going to face them. Yeah, obviously it's expected Harley Cameron and Will Nightingale would have won, to keep the heel face dynamic. That's the drawback to these kind of tournaments is like if it can be a little predictable with face and heel alignments, but it's still a shocking upset. Harley Cameron had this really impressive like double crucifix slam she did to Monet and Athena that I thought was like really cool. Um, there, the commentary told a weird story. Also, I guess I should say it was Excalibur, Tony, and Daniel Bryan on commentary. This is my first ever time. No, actually, last week was my first ever time. But like I haven't heard Daniel Bryan on commentary before. He's okay. I prefer Nigel. I prefer Nigel. But yeah, Daniel Bryan's good. I like Excalibur a lot. Tony's good. Uh, anyway, I was gonna say something. Oh right, they told a weird story where like they really harped on about Harley Cameron, being newer to wrestling and everything, which that's fine. That's good. Get that over. Like she's inexperienced and everything, but like they were low key saying she. It was so weird because they were constantly like, yeah, she's improved so much these past few months, like to the point where it was basically them saying like, yeah, she used to suck, but now she's okay. And like, it was such a weird, like, focus on commentary. Like, I get trying to hype up, like she's newer and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know. It was just weird to me, right? It was just weird to me. But yeah, the match was good. At one point, the ending was Billy Starks ran in to grab the title for Athena because they were going to cheat to win. Chris Statlander came down, chased off Mercedes Monet, and then Athena got distracted or something with the belt, and Harley Cameron got the pin on her. It's pretty cool. And because of that, actually, no, it's announced that Athena's going to defend the Ring of Honor title against Harley Cameron, and I'm wondering if it's time for them to take the belt off Athena, maybe because I don't remember what the days were at, but she's had the belt for like a really long time. So I'm wondering like because I have no idea what their plans are going to be for that title. So I wonder if this is going to be it. Um, well, yeah, we'll see in the future. And then after that, we got the actual like official announcement for the new title within AEW. I think it's gonna be the AEW Continental Championship. It's a title that has history and lineage and everything, but even I know, even my noobness within AEW knows that AEW has too many titles and has had too many titles for a while. Like, I know they recently unified two of the titles, the one that Okada has right now. So, like, adding another title is just so unnecessary because it's like Kyle Fletcher is TNT champion. Okada is the I can't remember what his title is called, but that was the one that was unified. Obviously, you got the world champion, you got the tag titles, you've got the trios titles, you got the women's world title, you've got the TBS championship, you've got the upcoming women's tag team championships, plus all the Ring of Honor titles that sometimes get featured with their world title, their women's world title, their tag titles, their trios titles, their TV title. Like, it's just too much. Like, I'm accustomed to wrestling, so like I can handle it, but it's like someone coming in that's like actually brand new to wrestling as a whole, it's off-putting, right? So many titles, and it's like, well, where does this person stand? Like, what does this title stand, right? What's the hierarchy here? And it's like there isn't really one. Like, obviously the world title, but then it's like this these random titles is like they don't when there's so many, they essentially just don't mean anything. And I do think this was a mistake to do this title. But anyway, it was also announced that Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin will be in the. It's going to be a casino gauntlet. For the winner will get the title. I've never watched a casino gauntlet before, so it'll be cool for me to see. And I love Shelton Benjamin. He is all time. He's an all timer. One of my favorites from WWE. He's just so good. He never got the proper push in WWE. I'm so glad that like he's allowed to just show off within AEW. And I like Bobby Lashley as well. I think Hurt Syndicate's fun. Hurt Syndicate is good. And then they were interrupted by the team called The Demand, which is Ricochet and two people who genuinely look interchangeable to me, and I don't remember their names at all. I just do not remember. Hopefully they stand out with more episodes, but like right now, no, right now it's not happening. And basically, I mean, last week Ricochet cost Bobby Lashley. I mean, sort of cost. Like, he got Bobby Lashley distracted so he can break up a submission. It was cool. And I guess they're going to continue a feud. And then after that, we got Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia. It was the men's second match for the advantage. Obviously, Darby Allin was going to win this. He is the bigger star, and the Death Riders already won one match, so, like, yeah, obviously. I don't, from what I've seen and watched, I don't really like Darby Allin. I don't really like. I mean, he doesn't really have a character to begin with, and like, yeah, I don't really vibe with him. So like, he kind of does whatever for me. I like Daniel Garcia's new like. I mean, yeah, I haven't watched a lot of Daniel Garcia clips or anything, but like from what I've seen, I like this like new version of him. I thought the match was okay. I really enjoyed that they really utilized like the entire 5 count. When the referee is counting before you get disqualified. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was cool. Um, I don't really like when a baby face. Well, it's not that I don't like it. It's that I'm tired of the babyface is knocked out, and then on the count of 9 when they're outside, they just randomly like pop back up and get in the ring. I don't vibe with it anymore. I don't like that trope. I just don't. And then I I did not like the finish for this match. Like, I thought going up to the finish was fine, but like the actual finish I didn't like because in this match, Daniel Garcia essentially dominated the majority of the match, like genuinely the majority of the match. Darby Allin got like some offense in for sure, but like it was never like prolonged or anything. And then, but just he just gets the Scorpion Deathlock in. And Daniel Garcia hadn't been worked over at all within the match. Like his lower back, his legs, nothing was been worked over, and he was also like kind of just close to the ropes anyway, and he just like tapped out pretty quickly. And I thought it was I wasn't huge on that. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a lame finish. I think like it would have worked better for me if it had been more 50-50 offense, and if Darby Allin had like actually worked over Daniel Garcia more. But as it was, this was my least favorite part of the show. Least favorite match for sure. I don't think it was awful. I don't think it was bad. It was mostly just fine. But yeah, wasn't huge on it. Then after that, we got what was absolutely my favorite segment of the entire show with the FTR promo, where, oh my god, it was so good. First of all, Stokely Hathaway is amazing. He is a comedic genius. But FTR was out in the ring. They were like, "Oh yeah, Brodito, come on out so we can shake your hands like true gentlemen." And like, we cut away to Stokely Hathaway at just watching something on his phone, leaning up against a door that was getting pounded on. Renee is like, "Hey, what's going on? Where's Brodito?" And Stokely was like, "Yeah, don't know. You want to watch The Wire?" Fucking hilarious. I loved it. But then FTR was like, "Man, that sucks." So then they go out to the ring, and Bandito's family, his abuela, his brother, two people that didn't get mentioned were there. And so they just started cutting a promo. They were like, it was so funny. Like, I think it was FTR Bald was at this point with the mic, and he would like ask a question, give it to the grandmother. She would start saying something, and then he would pull it back. And he was like throw random interspersed Spanish throughout his throughout talking to her. It was so fucking funny. And then we cut away back to because Bandito's brother started to get physically involved with FTR, and so then as Stokely was just leaning against the door, suddenly Brody King's fist goes to the door, and just like, oh my god, the reaction of Stokely was amazing. It's so funny. If I don't know why you'd be watching this if you hadn't watched the show yet, but if somehow you haven't, you've gotta go watch this segment. It's so fucking funny. And then so then Brodito chases Stokely Hathaway down. They chase FTR off, and really good segment. Really good segment. Really good build up to their upcoming title match. I loved it. 10 out of 10. After this, we got the first women's advantage match, where it's Mina Shirakawa versus Megan Bayne, and with Toni Storm on commentary. Toni Storm is an unhinged individual. Some of the things she said was just outrageous. Like, she was like, told Excalibur, I think it was Excalibur, like, why don't you do commentary on one of my orgies? And then she said Daniel Bryanson's got hemp cologne, or Bryan Danielson. So for some reason, his name specifically, I still mix up with WWE's version of it, but said he has hemp cologne, which was hilarious. And then just throughout the match, he was calling Megan Bayne a big bitch. It was funny. It was amusing. The actual match was great too. It's my favorite match of the show for sure. I love Mina's energy, just in her entrance in the ring. I love her energy with it. Megan Bayne's presentation is fantastic. They're presenting her an unstoppable powerhouse. It was great. And these two's chemistry was awesome as well. It was there was like one part where like um, Mina like threw Megan Bain against the ropes and then like did this like really sick leg trip like where she ran after her and then like slid down, grabbed the leg so that Megan Bain fell over. I thought it looked so fluid. It was so good. There was a great sling blade by Mina. A great German by Megan Bain. It was a great match. And then like at the end of it, towards the end of it, suddenly we just start hearing this sputtering and this choking, and like the camera pans over to uh, Mina Shafi or not Mina, Marina. Too many M's there. Marina Shafir just choking Tony out. And like while she still has the headset on, so that's why she's sputtering and choking. She asked Tony for help. It was great. Like it was amazing. And then that kind of distraction, caused Mina to be distracted, and Megan Bain got the win. And then we just got all the women that's gonna be in that match. I don't think I can remember everyone's gonna be in it. It's the Triangle of Madness, which is Thekla, um, Sky Blue, Julia Hart. It's Megan Bain, Marina Shafir. There's a sixth one. Oh, Mercedes Monet against Mina Shirakawa, who's replacing Queen Aminata, who got injured last week. Tony Storm, uh, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, Will Nightingale, and I think Harley Cameron, or Harley Cameron. Oh my god, I'm tired. It was a long work day. Yeah, I think that those are the 12 participants. So yeah, so like they kind of came out like team by team or whatever. Until like Mercedes Monet came down, she ran down the ring, but then stopped for getting in and was like, "Yeah, I don't need that." And Monet is just the best. Her character works amazing. No notes. And then after all of that, we got the last bit of the show, which was the trios tag match, which the Ops, Samoa Joe, Hangman, or Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata against Hangman, Hook, Eddie Kingston. It was an okay match. No, it was a good match. It was a good match. I really liked the last half of it. Like once things got really chaotic. At one point, Hook, hurt his lower back, and became like a 3-on-2 essentially. And then later, Powerhouse Hobbs like kind of like him and Hangman brawled up to the top of the ramp, and then Hobbs just like power slammed or like um, what is the slam? He slammed Hangman through a my cat's fucking annoying. Hangman through a table, which is setting up a singles match, and I gotta say I can't wait to see Hangman against Powerhouse Hobbs. I can't wait to see him against Shibata. I can't wait for the next match against Joe. It's gonna be great. Anyway, back in the actual match, Eddie Kingston has been getting worked over the entire time by the Ops, and then like Hook eventually tags back in, tries to lift. I think it's Hobbs, hurts his back, because his back's still hurting, and he eventually ends up tapping out to a kind of like torture rack thing while Eddie Kingston is being held in the corners and just has to watch. It's actually like the second tap out in as many weeks for Hook, and that could be interesting character work. It could give him something, and I hope it does. Because Hook kind of doesn't do it for me right now. But it was a good match. Again, I mean, I love everything Samoa Joe is in. I love the Ops. Uh, I think they're fun. I like them as a team. And I can't wait for like these upcoming matches with the Ops and Hangman. I think it's gonna be really good, really fun. Overall, I think it was a good show. Yeah, it was like there wasn't anything I would say was bad or boring on this show. Like every match was at least good. Even like my least favorite was Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia, and I think it was still good up until the finish. Uh, there's nothing I would call boring. Like every promo, every segment was entertaining in some form or fashion. Uh, you know, I wouldn't say like anything was exceptional, but like for a weekly television show, you don't need exceptional. You just need it to be good, and you need it to be consistently good. this is my second Dynamite, full Dynamite, and both shows have been good, and I'm looking forward to continuing to watch Dynamite. And if you made it this far to the end of the video, I hope you uh, look forward to my future reviews of these shows. I will try to do them every week. Likely can this month for sure because of how my schedule is. We'll see what happens in the future. But I'm gonna try my best to review them. I am gonna watch every show. Like even if I don't review something, I will watch it. And you know what? Look out in the description. I've got my Blueski and I've got my Twitter linked in them. I don't really use either of them much or really at all, but I'm gonna try to start using them more, and like we'll even like talk about like AEW stuff, right? And like if I can't review something, I'm just gonna give like a quick breakdown on those socials, right? But that's it for me. That's it for my review. Hope you enjoy. Stay tuned and stick around for, well, I guess what I review next, which will probably just be another Dynamite episode. But look forward to it, I guess.